Hello everyone from America. I'm in New Jersey. So this past week I was at the Django in June festival, and I've been participating in this festival for a very, very long time. I think almost 20 years. Yes, that's how old I am. And it's such a wonderful festival. I'm making this video to sing the praises of this festival. And I was not asked to do this. I'm doing this of my own free will. And I'm also not doing this because he hires me every year. In fact, I have told him multiple times, including this year, that if for some reason he can't hire me this year because, he wants to get other teachers, he wants to have diversity, I am totally cool with that. I totally respect that. It's something that I really respect about the organizer, Andrew Lawrence. He really tries to run a festival for the sake of the music. It's not about making money, but he does need to make money because it's not easy to run such a thing. But he's always concerned about who would be a good fit to the festival. And sometimes, some people are always requesting the most famous players, but you have to understand that sometimes the most famous players might not be a good fit to the festival, because the festival is all about immersion, is all about the community, all about hanging out and sharing. Some of the most famous players, they're not interested in that. They just want to be in their hotel room and then do their job, get paid, and leave. Andrew doesn't want that. He wants people to hang out, to feel, everyone to feel like a family. And it's very interesting because when I first started this style of music, there were not many people in America playing this kind of music, first of all. I was kind of one of the first in North America to, because I speak French, and some German, that I had connections with the real deal in Europe. And I learned a lot from them in those days. And I guess Andrew found out about me because one year, I think some 20 years ago, maybe over 20 years ago, I spent an entire summer transcribing Django Reinhardt solos, probably poorly. And I remember I had 30, 40 solos transcribed, and I uploaded them on the internet somewhere for free. I gave them away for free. And Andrew found out about that, and before Django in June existed, I think he invited me to do a few workshops in this area, in Northampton, before Django in June existed. So I remember in those days, it was hard to come across accurate information about playing this style of music. The right hand technique, and also this rhythm guitar thing. Was the sound, the feel was so elusive to players who were interested in this music in North America. And it was I wouldn't say difficult, but it was because it's so hard to find resources and hard to hear the real deal that a lot of people had a bit of difficulty learning this rhythm. Whereas sometimes when I would be in Europe in the gypsy camps, I would talk to kids who had just started to learn the guitar, and right away they had the sound. Because of this immersion thing, in this channel you see me talking a lot about immersion, right? And that's why I think it's so important. Well, fast forward 20 years now, I see all these people like beginners, intermediate, they pretty much all have the sound in America now because, well, maybe because of the community thing, because of the internet, but also I'm sure because of festivals like Django in June that are, doing people like Andrew Lawrence doing everything they can to foster this community, this spirit of sharing. And I find that so very inspiring, very impressive. I've seen the level in North America explode exponentially over the past 20 years. It really must be because of festivals like this. And one other thing is, okay, actually, I've never participated as a camper, but I'm told by other campers who go to other festivals and whatnot that this festival is extremely affordable. If you compare it to other festivals, like, I'm not going to name names, but like some A-list or celebrity festivals that run similar camps, this Django and June thing is a steal. And the atmosphere is just so great. Everyone is together. As far as I know, most people are very, very nice, very, very supportive. And the food in the cafeteria is very, very good. Like, I probably got fat because of that. And so what I did, I asked a few teachers to do some videos with me to show you kind of the spirit of what happens at this festival. I was trying to get every teacher, but I had so very little time that week that I only got whoever I could. So I hope you'll enjoy some of these videos. And before that, I'd like to invite my friend Dave Gross, who got a Grammy for participating in Taylor Swift's album Midnights. Dave, why don't you come on in? Oh, look at this guy. Now, Dave has been coming to this festival for almost as long as I have been participating, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Third year or something like that.
Gosh, we're a lot good friends, and I'm staying here in this beautiful home. So Dave plays the mandolin, and it's very interesting because at Django June there are mandolin instructors. Of course, as many of you who are familiar with the style know, that mandolin is not really one of the typical instruments in the style. But I guess in America, bluegrass is a huge thing, and I do know that correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of bluegrass players are also interested in swing music.
Definitely.
So what's your story behind the mandolin and Django in June?
Well, I just am interested in playing jazz music, and when I heard about Django in June, I just went up there, and everyone was so helpful. They were always so nice and welcoming, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing back then. I still don't know what the heck I'm doing. But you learn from the campers, you learn from the teachers, you learn by sitting next to amazing rhythm players, and I just sit and just try to sync up my hand and copy and just learn how to play the rhythm and just get the feel of the music. And when you're immersed in that music, you can learn so much just by playing with other people.
There we go. So please come. So actually, Dave is very active in the bluegrass and gypsy jazz world here in New Jersey, New York, so to speak. By the way, New York pizza is so good, but according to Dave, we just call it pizza. And actually, Dave writes some very, very, very catchy tunes. We're going to play a song called Jelly Bean Bounce, and I hope you guys will play it at your next jam session.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jelly Bean Bounce. Learn this tune. Hey, thanks, Dave.
Next year, Django and June, come hang with us.
Definitely.
One last story. If you do decide to come next year or the following year or whatever, and it's your first time, chances are you might feel very, very overwhelmed by all these amazing players. But please don't be discouraged. I want you guys to feel inspired. Usually, I've heard people telling me that they feel so overwhelmed the first day, but after a day or two, they start to hang out with the people. They start to talk to the people, and you realize everyone, for the most part, is very, very nice. And soon you'll find you'll find your crowd, the people that you get along with, and you're encouraging each other to get better. It's this kind of friendly competition that exists there, and that is very good for learning. I see people like Sam Farthing and Henry Acker, who are some of the most famous young players in America. They're always hanging together. You could say that they're friendly rivals. They're good friends, but they're pushing each other to get better. This is what's very, very important. And as a player, you'll have many opportunities to jam with people. You can find beginner jam sessions. And what's very cool is, if you're pretty decent at rhythm, if you think you're pretty decent, or at least you want to try, you can join the top level jams and just be in the background and play rhythm relatively quietly. And that's great training as well. I remember one time there was a jam with a lot of the teachers, Joscho, Stephan, Gabe on violin, a lot of like the high level players. And there was one camper there refusing to take solos and just playing rhythm. And I think that was great. That was such great training for him, I'm sure. And I'm sure he must have had a blast. So these are opportunities that you can get from Django and June that you wouldn't get elsewhere, I believe. So there we go. Django and June, the place to be. Oh yeah. Just as I was about to wrap things up, Dave reminded me of one last component, is that you'll find people from all over North America and sometimes other countries attending these festivals. And as you meet people, you realize, hey, you live pretty close to me, and new friendships are created this way. And I think that's so cool that you meet in Northampton, Massachusetts, only to realize that both of you are from Montana or New Mexico or Miami, and like, hey, are you Tico Rosenberg? oh shit, I'm from Florida too. And then you hang out and become best friends. If you don't know who Tika Rosenberg is, it doesn't matter.
proper chords.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Pretty nice. Thank you so much,
Yes,
my
of
friend.
course.
Ah. What do you think, Dennis? It's nice?
Very nice.